Hello, 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 and welcome to Time for a Change with Sherry
and McYon.
How are you today?
Oh my goodness, I am awesome.
You are?
Yes, I am.
I know you had an awesome weekend.
I did.
With the grandbaby.
Yes. My first weekend, my first week with my grandson.
Right.
So he was over. Oh my goodness, I was up all night. Like last night, I didn't get to sleep till like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, I forgot what it is like to take care of a little baby.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, but he was so sweet.
You have to buy him a Mickey Mouse clock.
Yes, girl, okay.
This is the time you sleep and this is the time you wake up.
And it's so funny because, you know, when you have a new baby in the house and everything, it's like your senses go up. So every little sound and everything, he makes you're up, but he was asleep.
Right.
He knocked out. Every time I get up, he make a sound, I get up to check on him. He like... And so I just stayed up, and then I was up at 12 because they feed him like every 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
They feed him like every 3 hours and everything. And so like by the time I was getting ready to go to sleep, and like it was 12, then it was like 1:30. I go, I may as well just stay up to 3 because it's gonna be the next feeding. So, but it was good. I was so excited to be a grandmother.
I see.
I was so excited.
So, well, my weekend was pretty boring. That's really good. That's a first, right? Because it's usually all over the place. But I chilled on Saturday, and then Sunday I met with Tamisha.
Awesome.
Our strategist, our business strategist. I spoke with her, and I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness!
Yay!
I'm supposed to go see her tonight.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We switched a whole lot of stuff around, so I'm really excited for 2018 because Keon Works is gonna do the daggone thing.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see them things. Yeah, I know. She's just been working so hard.
I know. And she's so creative. Her
Oh my
mind
goodness,
is
she's
just,
so creative.
Yeah, her mind is always going. It's always creating new things. And yes, I love it.
I know. And I know everybody looking on the screen, they see our guests here in the house. We
Yes.
have my beautiful sister here, Sheila Malloy Hall. She is definitely in the studio today with us. We were definitely be talking with her soon, but we didn't want anybody to think that we were just leaving her out.
We're going to talk to her.
Leaving me out.
We're going to talk to her. Yeah, indeed. So I don't have any in the news, but I do want to let all of our listeners know that if you would like to dial in tonight, you can definitely call us at 240-719-2560. Again, that's 240-719-2560. If you have any questions or you hear something that you want to comment on, or you just want a few more answers on something, you can give us a call. The Q&A segment will be at the latter part of the show, but of course, if you need to call, go ahead and do so, 240-719-2560, especially when we get to talking to our guest, Sheila Malloy Hall. You might have some questions. So, what else? What about anything? Nothing?
Well, yeah, I had an event on Friday night.
Right.
It was a ministry, and it was Bruised But Not Broken. So I had went to their women's group, the monthly women's group, and I spoke there. I mean, oh my goodness, you talking about God having His way in the place. Oh my goodness, those women there, God really showed up at that meeting, and God really broke some chains that night.
Right.
You know, it was a few women. We had a few women that came up who actually wanted to get out of their domestic violence situation.
Wow.
Right.
And they broke down right then and there, you know, and it was just so much brokenness being released, you know, with family members of so much hurt and pain in the family of, you know, just family telling you that you're never good enough and you're never going to be anything, and you know, and just so we start having the women speak affirmations over themselves to not believe what people, you know, because people put curses over you with the words that they speak, and you know, and you carry that, and so God just was just breaking those chains, and it was just awesome to see. I mean, it started at like 7.
Right.
I didn't leave there until 12.
Wow.
Because we didn't want to. We didn't
Right.
want to.
You
We
wanna
didn't want to
interrupt it.
stop it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't want to stop it because it was just happening,
Yeah.
and we didn't want to stop it. But it was beautiful.
Oh, I wish I had gone.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, that sounds amazing, and that's what this is all about, right? Is to make sure that we deliver women, deliver people, period, from their situation
Yep.
and those generational issues, right?
Yep.
And all of that self-sabotage. That's why we do what we do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I know that's encouraging and motivating just for us alone, you know, and to hear something like that, it just keeps us pumped and
Yep.
ready to go.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I mean? So I definitely want to get ready to talk to our guests, and we'll go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we will talk to our guest, Sheila Malloy Hall. You all right, Mick?
I can run, I can race for hours and hours and don't stop. I can float, I can fly us to the highest mountain tops. I can breathe you, I can drink in your life, I can live on your spine. I can trip and if I can fall into your arms, I can stay there my whole life. I can love, I can be there with you, for real, for real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you, for real. Oh, I can love, I can be there with you, for real, for real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you, for real. I can stare, I can memorize your face, your hands, your hair, every part of you. I can cut off any other thing, and not even wanna keep with you. I can speak truth, honesty. I can even run any game. I can hear a million angels singing in my ear when I say your name. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you. For real. You're for real. I can love, I can be better with you. I am better. For real. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell. I know that you're for real. I can't smile, can't drink like a child. Can't feel safe in this wide world without you. I can't go, can't disturb this flow. Can't begin to know what I would do. I can't say, can't find strength to be. Rather not be me without you. I can't deal, I can't even feel without you. I'm not me. I can love, I can be better with you. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you. For real. I can feel, I can love, I can be better with you. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you. For real. I can feel, I can love, I can be better with you. For real. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you. For real. Yeah, for real. For real. I can hear, I can feel, I can see, I can tell you. For real.
Hello, and welcome to Time for a Change with Sherry.
And McYon.
We're here, of course, every first and second Monday of the month at voxwave.com. You can find us at voxwave.com the first and second Monday of every month from 6:30 to 8, where we talk about domestic violence and life after abuse and unhealthy and healthy relationships. And we talk a little bit about community, and we encourage the community. And we even had kid entrepreneurs on back in September. So we're well-rounded, and we just like to keep the community motivated. So tune in every first and second Monday of the month here at voxwave.com. And we're stationed here at the Star Imports. And Star Imports is a boutique car, what am I trying to say?
Car dealership.
Car dealership, where you can customize your car. Okay, so if you're in the business of shopping for a nice fancy car for your loved one, BMW, Benz, those high-end Jaguars, Lexus, they can order it for you, customize it and everything. So that's at Star Imports at 4711 Auth Place out here in, Suitland, Maryland. So make sure you come on out here and buy your loved one a car. And if you tell them that Time for a Change with Sherry and McYoung sent you, they're going to hook you up and give you something special, okay? So make sure you come on out here and look into what they have on their lot. Or you can go to starimports.com and look at all of their inventory and what they can order elsewhere. So we're going to go ahead and get into our show and get into our guest. We have Miss Sheila Malloy Hall, is the founder of the Healing to Grace Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that addresses the impact and aftermath of abuse and domestic violence. She is a chief operating officer of her life. I love that. I saw that in her bio, the chief operating officer of your life. How powerful that is. You know what I mean? Because we have to be in control of our life.
Yes.
Right? And when we start giving that to somebody else or pointing the finger at everybody else, we've lost the whole operation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I love that.
Yes, I love saying it. It's like, what do? I'm the chief operating officer of my life.
Yes.
You know, and say it like, say it like you mean it. Like
That's
you're
right.
the chief operating officer of your life. And people always say, what does that really mean? It really means that at one time, someone was telling me what to do, telling me how to think, telling me when I could go and come.
Yeah.
But no one's telling me that now. The only person that has authority over me is my Lord and Savior.
That's right.
And I have complete authority because He gives it to me. And so I just love saying that. I'm the chief operating officer of my life.
I'm going to be saying it now.
Okay.
I'm going to be saying it now. That's right. I'm going to be saying it now. Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw on your CV that you have a lot of accomplished, where you've been out to different speaking engagements and appeared on many different platforms. Can you just tell us one or two of your favorite platforms that you were on? Or one that stands out more than anything? Because you have several.
One of my favorite ones was actually it was like my second one. And I got to speak at St. Stephen's Baptist Church Women's Conference. And this was my second one, and I had just started speaking. So let me just tell you ladies this first, though. Speaking was never something I thought I would be doing. Like, this is not, I wasn't that girl that grew up and like, oh my God, I want to be on this stage, talking to people. You know, that was never me.
Right.
Because I was never into telling people my business. Like, I wasn't about to tell my family's dirty laundry. And shame had me in bondage, so that was not me. It was during an evening of a breakdown, like a moment of self-sabotage, a moment of in the act of committing suicide, that I just didn't see worth in living any longer. And so after God brought me through that, within 45 days of that happening to me, like being in my living room trying to commit suicide, with 45 days after that, platforms opened up for me to go speak, because I reached out to someone and said I needed help. And once I made that first step, and I started to go see this therapist, and we started talking about a lot of different issues, not just my domestic violence, but the therapist was the person who brought out my real dark secrets, the secrets that, because the therapist said to me, something else has got to be going on, because I was crying, like I couldn't stop crying. And it was the first time I told the truth. Like, as an infant, I was abandoned. As a young girl, I was molested. So I started telling the truth that I never told before. And so when I got to speak at St. Stephen's Baptist Church, it was so funny because they thought I was just the speaker who had been speaking forever, but this is my second time speaking. But it was a powerful moment. And when God really brings you to something, you don't need any coaching on it. You don't need no performance on it. If it's really your truth, if you're really doing what God called you to do, it will happen naturally. And so this happened naturally for me. And I remember standing up there speaking, and so this is my second time speaking, so I was still in that moment where I would cry sometimes, but I don't cry that much anymore now because healing has taken place. And I remember standing there speaking, and I remember looking at the women out there. It was a packed audience. And I remember looking at the women, and my heart could tell the woman in the audience who was in a domestic violence situation. Like, I could feel it. Like, my spirit was connecting with people. And that was so powerful for me. It was this one woman, I could not get my eyes off of her. Like, she just sat there the whole time staring at me. And you kind of look around the room, but I would go back to her. And at the end of me speaking, she came up to me and said, I need help. I cannot go back. That was one of my favorite moments because I knew at that moment that this is what I was called to do, that I was called to help somebody. And that was my favorite moment when God solidified for me that this is what I've called you to do. And that all that I had gone through was for such a time as that. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how the things that go on in our life leading up to where we're destined to be and where our purpose is designed, that road that we're supposed to travel down, isn't it crazy how everything kind of comes together, comes right together?
That full circle.
Yeah, it comes full circle. So, yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So tell us, Sheila, and tell our listening audience, share a little bit about your story. You shared a little bit in that, what you just told us, but share with us, our audience, a little bit about your story, how you have overcome domestic violence, and then talk a little bit about your organization and what you do in the community for others.
Okay. Let me back up and first of all just say thank you for just thinking enough of me to even have me on your platform. So I appreciate it. I think it's always important to acknowledge, appreciate when God opens up a door for you, and appreciate the people that listen to the Word of God. So thank you, Mia.
You're welcome.
And Sherry.
You're welcome.
Me. I'm so honored. And congratulations on the show. And
Thank you.
I commend you for the work that you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
You're an inspiration. You're always in my prayers, and you always have my support.
Oh, thank you. That's my sister. I love her so much. She is definitely one of those sisters that I love so much. From the first time I even have met her, it has truly been a real connection. And, sometimes people really show you who you are. I was being honored earlier this year in Baltimore, and her schedule was full and everything, but she came. And she was like, I showed up. I was like, oh, my goodness. She stayed a little while because she had to go on a date with her hubby. And I was like, that was so big to me that she shared her time with me, where she usually set that time aside for her husband.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was major. And then to come all the way to Baltimore, to do that, that was major. So she sealed the deal with me with that move right there. She sealed the deal.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so domestic violence, specifically in my story, I met my ex-husband. I was on a trip. I was on a vacation in Bermuda, and this was my first vacation. And a lot of times when I speak, I always tell people that I don't remember exact dates, and people don't understand that there's actually something called, there's a name for that when you can't remember specific details of trauma. There's a name for that, and I can't remember that name. As I get, I'm 51, I realize sometimes, you be forgetting stuff. But there's a name associated with that. But it was, it was early on in the late 1990s when I met him. First trip to Bermuda. A girl born in D.C., grew up on Chuck Brown, went to Cardoza, going outside of D.C., and that's where I met him. Tall drink of water. After I left Bermuda and came home, within 6 months, he was living here. Don't even ask me how I did that. I don't even know. Like, my mom was gone. But I'm telling you, I had never experienced what I experienced. To have someone manipulate and control me, what I thought was love, because I really didn't even know what love was, because I never saw love for real. Especially in my family, there was no real example of how a man should really treat a woman. And so when I saw this love, I was like, hey, he wants to marry me. And so we got married. But little did I knew it was more to it than that. Like, I didn't know I had to get a green card for this person and that they wouldn't be able to work. And so here's someone who doesn't work that lives in my country, and they're running my life. Like, they're telling me what to do. And so it became, first it was like the guilt. Well, I'm here and, you're not treating me good, and I left my home and I came here to your country. And of course I felt bad. Like, okay, what can I do to make this person feel better? It's my fault that they feel so homesick. So that was really just the manipulation right there. That was the beginning of the controlling my mindset. And then after that, the physical just started. And it was about 2.5 years of just sort of being tormented. Domestic violence, of course, is physical, psychological, emotional, sexual, all of that. And I experienced all of that. And while I don't have scars that you can see anymore, but they was embedded right there in my heart. Like, these two things were tripped out. They were no longer connected. I was just psychologically damaged from what I had gone through. But when you have someone that's telling you pretty much every day that I'll kill you, you begin to believe that. And then especially after they have beat you and knocked you upside your head so many times that you have jumped out of the car when it's moving on the bridge, jumped off the balcony. One of the most severe beatings was I came home from work one night and I was beaten so bad that I passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the bathtub that was filled with water. And when I woke up, I could barely see. And when I turned the light on, both of my eyes were swollen shut. And all I could see was just a lot of darkness and blood everywhere. But here's how I know that God has always been with me, though. Because I was able in that moment to find my car keys in a sheet and wrap that sheet around me and drive to safety. And I ended up in GW. I mean, there's more to the story than that, but just to, give you some bits and pieces of the story. I ended up in GW Hospital. I had been strangled so bad that there were tubes down my throat. And the police put out a warrant for him for assault with the intent to kill. That's how serious it was. And I remember going back like the next week or two to my apartment with police escort or stuff, because I ended up staying at my mom's when I got out the hospital. And when we pulled up, seeing it on television, never seen it for myself, there was like yellow tape all around our place. And when I walked in the door, they hadn't touched anything. The apartment was still the way it was. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Like, you could see my handprints on the wall, the blood of my handprints. The apartment was a mess. The water in the bathtub was still there. It was so bloody. My clothes was ripped. There was knives and stuff everywhere. And I just had a shock right there, a panic attack. Like, they had to, take me out of there. But once I went through that and eventually I got away because he actually left me. He left me. He left me with nothing. He took all my clothes, all my money out the bank. He took everything I owned. He stripped my apartment of I had nothing. I came home from work. He never worked. I came home from work one day and he was gone. And at that time I had my child by him. And all I cared about at that moment, where's my baby? the baby was still at the sitters. And is he coming back? I didn't care that I had nothing. All I cared about, Lord, please don't let him come back. And he never came back. And I had nothing but the clothes on my back. And that was just a nugget of the abuse that I went through in that marriage. But prior to that, I had already been, something I recently law is poly-victimization. And I spoke for the Family Justice Center on that because I'm the perfect example of what poly-victimization is. Someone who has been victimized. Before I even got to domestic violence, I was already victimized because I was abused as a young girl and the things that I gone through. So when you bring all of those things together, I went through some serious trauma in my life. And I remember when I got my first apartment when I was 19 years old, I had my son. And I got my first apartment, and I got my first job as a receptionist at a law firm. All I knew at the time was to survive and take care of my kid. And so I never dealt with that stuff that happened when I was growing up. And I just went on about my way working, never knowing that I was really damaged in the inside. Because I knew to just get up, do my face, do my hair, put my clothes on, and go to work. And that's what I did for so many years, never getting the help that I deserved. But I thank God that the door opened so I can go and get the therapy that I needed, that I was able to go and get help. And if it wasn't for me, as sad as that moment was when I had that breakdown to try to commit suicide, but it was a breakthrough. It was the moment of my awakening. At that moment, as I stood there on my sofa, on the arm of my sofa, I tied an extension cord around my neck, and I was trying to hang it from the vent. And I couldn't get the extension cord to go into the event. So I got tired and got down and just fell on my knees crying out to God, like, I don't know what else to do, Lord. I don't want to live anymore. I've tried this. And I thought it was best that I die rather than live. But it was in my breaking that my breakthrough started to come. And ever since that moment, I've been on my healing journey. I've been speaking my truth. I've been telling all my dirty laundry. Some of it has been more painful than other times to share. But I know that it's what God has called me to do. And I'm going to continue to do it. Just like I saw that one woman at my second event that I spoke at that came to me. I have had that happen to me so many times where women have come to me secretly. And that is my sole purpose. If nobody ever knows my name, I don't have to be rich and famous from anything. My gift is in God, and He is so pleased with what I am doing. Even when I have those moments like I don't want to do this anymore. Because, you know, I'm not saying that life is perfect right now. Oh, no. The healing journey is for the rest of your life.
That's right.
And you know, the devil going to always come for you. Like, he going to come for me. Because he's like, hold up, I tried to kill you when you was born. I've been coming for you forever. I've tried to do so many things to you and you still standing. You know, he's going to try to attack your family, people close to you. He's going to come against everything that you have to take you out. And so that's what life is happening now. Like the devil just shows up in everything. It's like, I'm going to get you one way or another. And I keep reminding the devil that, see, you should have took me out when you had me. But see, you missed the opportunity. Now that I know who I am.
There you go.
Ooh, sucker, you messed up now. Because I'm on a mission to live my authentic life, to be the best woman that I can be. I know I'm gifted, I'm talented, I'm beautiful, I'm a woman of God, and ain't nothing nobody can do about that.
Right. Amen.
Amen. What are you? The chief?
The Chief Operating Officer.
Okay.
Of my life. How y'all doing?
Oh my goodness. Yes. That is so powerful. I think this is actually the first time I've ever heard in detail your story. I mean, it's powerful.
Thank you.
It's powerful, and it's your purpose. You're destined to do this. And I tell, women who tell their story is that the healing comes from us when we share, when we give up all the pain and the secrets.
Yeah, the dirty
the dirty
secrets.
secrets of us still trying to, carry on this facade
Yes.
that we're okay.
Yes.
And sometimes it's okay not to be okay.
It is. Oh,
It's
God.
okay not to be okay.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Oh my God. My pastor preached a sermon on that a couple of months back. That was his title. It's okay to not be okay. When I tell you that thing threw me, I was up under the pulpit. Girl, when I tell you I had a Holy Ghost fest in there. Because the truth of the matter is this. A lot of people will look at me and judge me before they know me.
Yes.
That I think I'm this and I think I'm that. So here's where I do my hair, put on makeup. I started out in cosmetology school. Then I went to school to be an esthetician. I worked in a salon for 5 years. A salon, it was called Salon Nouveau, down on 13th and F Street. It was the first black salon down there. And my specialty was facials and makeover. So beauty has always been my thing. I love beauty. I did some modeling when I was young, so I love beauty. But here's the thing. See, this is what I knew to do. It wasn't that I was trying to be somebody else. This is how I take care of me. And now I embrace taking care of me. So people would see me and judge me and think she thinks she cute, she thinks she that. See, back in the days, I was so broken, I ain't think none of that stuff. I was just trying to keep my secrets from y'all. I wasn't walking around talking about, I think I'm all that. Girl, I was broke down, toe up from the flow up, so insecure. So afraid to walk in my own beauty. I remember sometimes when I would be going places, if I would put on some makeup or something, before I got there, I would sit in my car and wipe all my makeup off real quick. I was like, let me mess up my hair, let me take my makeup, because I don't want them to think I think I'm cute. I mean, that's a serious issue when you do that kind of stuff. When you try to dim your light so people can accept you.
Right.
Well, honey,
No more
listen.
dimming.
Dimming is gone.
No
I
more
don't even have a dim light at my house, okay? It ain't dimming. It's just, you know what? I always talk about healing from the inside out. What you see on the outside should reflect how you feel about yourself in the inside. So if I have on this beautiful red lipstick, it's because I feel beautiful. Like I've accomplished something in my life. Like I'm alive. That I'm fighting the fight every day to walk in my authentic self. Like I want to be whole, and I truly want to see who God created me to be for real. Because when each of us was born, God had a plan and purpose for each of us.
That's right.
But then life showed up.
Life.
And then life started impacting us with all this stuff, right? And so you under there somewhere, and you got to get underneath all this stuff that has happened to you. And you don't get from under that just one day by luck. No, you got to do some work to get from under that. Like you got to start peeling back the layers of all your pain, your hurt, your shame. You got to peel that stuff back. And we grew up in times, and I know you remember this, and you too, Sherry. We grew up in households where we were told, don't go out there and tell our business, right? What goes on in here stays in here, right?
Don't tell your business.
We grew up like that. And so I grew up with okay, let me not tell my business. But, I might lose some loved ones because I'm telling my business now, and I really don't even care.
That's how it is. A lot of times, family want us to keep those secrets because they're not ready to heal. And they're still walking around in secrecy with all these family secrets. And that's what keeping everybody all messed up. Everybody is all messed up. Because as you said, it's true for me too. Like, I never seen a healthy relationship in my family. I come from a very religious family. So everything was a matter of the church can't know, the pastor can't know, the neighbors can't know. Keep this all in the house. And it was hell in the house.
Yes.
So even before I even stepped out into the world to even be in relationship with men, I was already taught up that I didn't even know how to even be in relationship with men. Because from my view, men was nothing. Men couldn't do nothing for you but buy you things because they was going to mistreat you. They were going to cheat on you, and you can't respect them anyway. So it was a matter of get what you can get and keep moving.
And that's so sad that is how we grew up. And I saw that in my family too. It's like get what you can get out of them. If they don't have this kind of car, they don't have that, they don't have this, they not worth it. But you willing to be treated like you less than just so somebody can buy you something.
It's a cost for those bags and those cars and stuff. It's a cost for that. Sometimes people have to pay with their lives. pay their lives for those things. You want to say something, Sharon?
Well, I want to say something really quickly, and then we, of course, have to go to break.
Okay.
But when you were telling your story, I just wrote down a couple of key things, and then when we come back, I'd like to ask a couple of questions because I heard in your entire story from day one, survivor. So you've definitely been a survivor, and you said you were breaking through the breaking that led to your breakthrough, because sometimes we have to completely break to heal, and I relate that back to a fracture. Sometimes if we live in this fractured community. The reason why we're in this fractured community is because we won't allow ourselves time to heal. And sometimes we need to completely break so that we can heal appropriately. So in those moments of life, I always refer to life sometimes is that we need to have an emergency life kit, right? So what do you have in your emergency life kit? So when we come back from break, I'd like to know what was in your emergency life kit. What are those things that were your go-to? Was it your hobbies? Was it your just something that was already innately in you? Was it your Bible by your side? Was it your journal? Just to let us know a few things. Once you came through and you are at this moment of being the CEO of your life, right? But at those moments, like you said, we do have those moments where we're like, okay, you know what? Life is still just coming at me. Like the devil is still coming at me. So I'd like to know what's in your emergency kit for life. Because, you definitely came through as survival. So I want people to, that are listening to understand that even though after abuse, we still have moments. Right? We still have moments. So we'll be back right after this. Is there something else we need to...
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good. Is she playing?
Yeah, man. You better hurry up and she's about to go on stage right now.
It's another harmony, like nothing. You ain't nothing helping. Oh, yeah, okay. That's right. All right. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to A Love Story. And this is Emotional Roller Coaster. Last night I cried, tossed and turned. Woke up with dry eyes, my mind was racing, feet were pacing. Lord help me, please tell me what I have gotten into. Ran my 3 miles to clear my mind. It always helps me out. It's my therapy when I'm losing it, which is usually, I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me. But I can't get off this emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me. Oh, I can't get off. Yesterday I told myself I was gonna be okay, gonna start a new day, be truly happy. I was gonna take control of me, but eventually reality hit me mentally, physically, emotionally, and I opened my eyes and realized that I was still being taken for a constant ride on your ooh, baby, ain't nothing, and it was never healthy for me. Ooh, but I
Welcome back. We're here at Time for a Change with Sherry.
And McYon.
And we are with VoxWave.com. You can find us here every first and second Monday of the month from 6:30 to 8. And, of course, we go live on our Facebook page. Yay. So if you're not part of our Facebook page, make sure that you join because, like we said, 2018 is going to bring a lot of new things, and we definitely want you guys to be in the know of what's going on. So if you're interested in advertising with VoxWave or Time for a Change, make sure that you send us an email to timeforchangeradio@gmail.com. That's time, the number 4, changeradio@gmail.com, and we will definitely send you out the information for advertising. And if you're interested in either one, the network or just the show, okay? So we'll definitely get that information out to you. And don't forget, if you are interested in donating toys for the Toys for Tots, we have a drive going on, a toy drive going on here at the station. That's at Star Imports, 4711 Off Place in Suitland, Maryland. You can definitely drop your toys off here. If you need us to meet up so that we can get them from you, feel free to give me and McYana a shout out, and we will definitely hook up with you so that we can get these toys to the babies.
Absolutely, and we definitely will be accepting toys up until December the 20th.
And books.
And books.
Books, that's right. Some flashcards. Go to the dollar store, get these babies some flashcards.
Yeah, we love education.
That's right.
We love education.
So we have Sheila Malloy Hall in the studio with us. Yay! And we just heard her powerful testimony and all that she has been through. And during that time when I was listening, I just wrote down a few things. And as I mentioned before we went to break, I hear definitely survivor, all through your story from day one, right? So, and I know that even after abuse, we still have moments. We still have moments. And I'd like to know, I call it the emergency kit for life. So what do you have in your emergency kit that helps you bounce back to recognize when you're possibly having a setback or to recognize those things? What is in your emergency kit?
Well, the truth of the matter is I still see my therapist. So I don't have to see a therapist on a regular basis.
Right.
It's almost like a American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Right.
But maybe every 60 to 90 days, I might call and make an appointment just to talk about life. But on a day-to-day basis, it's my affirmations. It is my time with Sheila. So every morning, my morning starts out with affirmations. So I have to have affirmations because it's a mindset. So I got to deal with my mind. I got to deal with the thoughts in my head. And so when I get up in the morning, on my mirror at home is just sticky notes with different affirmations. And I speak those affirmations to myself all the time. You know, once upon a time when things would come in my mind, like, you know, stuff that I've gone through, I would let it control my thoughts. You know, get depressed, like, oh my God, I went through this, or this happened to me, or that happened to me. But see, when it happens now, I quickly shift the thoughts. I'm in control now. That's how I became the CEO of my life. So I quickly shift my thoughts now. I don't stay in a broken thought any longer because I'm past that. But I speak affirmations, and so every morning it starts with prayer and affirmations. It starts with the truth. I accept life as it is. Life is going to happen. I accept that there are some things I just cannot control. But I'm completely in control of what I allow myself to think about or allow what space I allow myself to be in. I'm not going to be in an environment that I'm not comfortable in. I'm not going to force my way into any kind of group cliques, none of that. I'm not going to do that. My life depends on me taking care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, I could just somehow shift back into those old patterns of thinking that I'm not worthy or slip into depression. So in my kit is prayer, affirmations, and owning my truth. And then there's my lovely therapist. So when I really want to get down and talk to her, you know, say for example, if something is happening in my family that I can't share with anyone else, but I know I need to talk about it. Because if I don't talk about things that weigh heavy on my heart, it begins to weigh me down. And when things begin to weigh you down, that can open up the door for other things to just happen.
Yeah.
So I will call and make an appointment and go sit and talk to my therapist because I know that's confidential right there.
Yeah.
So she can't tell people what I just told her. And I'm not afraid. See, yes, I love the Lord. I'm a Christian woman. I love the Lord. I'm filled with the Holy Ghost, all that. But the truth of the matter is, we got to understand that sometimes you may have to go to get some help.
Yeah.
And we as black people,
Come on now, talk
we've
about
been
it.
going to church and we think, well, I'm going to go pray. All right, but you better go get some help if you need some help and stop faking a fraud, okay? Stop lying to yourself.
real talk.
You need to go get some help. And so many people are still stuck at this place where they think, if I go get some help, they're going to think I'm crazy. Girl, they're going to think you crazy if you don't go
Anyway,
get some help. Girl, go get some help.
Go
You know what I'm
get
saying?
some help.
I don't really care. Think what you want to think. Because I stay focused on what I'm doing is I'm doing it for me. But the other part to why I do what I do is that I have 4 grandchildren. Look, I have to count how many I've had. I have 4 grandchildren. I have 3 granddaughters. And I'd be damned if they gonna go through what I've gone through. I am purposely, on purpose, about breaking generational curses.
right.
I'm not
That's
playing
right.
with the devil. Devil, you can't have my family.
Yes.
They are not about to go. They're connected to me. They're my seeds. What am I leaving? What is my legacy?
That's right.
My legacy is healthy and wholeness. That's what my legacy is. And my legacy starts with me. I'm breaking that curse. My babies ain't going through what I went through. The devil got to come through me to get to them, and I'm a powerful woman.
Amen.
You know
That's
what?
right.
So
That's right.
when I look at my grandbabies, they empower me because I don't want them to suffer. And then I have one grandson. I don't want my grandson to grow up thinking that the way he see men treat women or women treat men, that's how men behave. No, baby, that's not how. What you were born into is not the true story. When you go back and look at the Word of God, God already laid out the foundation how it was supposed to be.
Okay.
So we got to go back to the Word, and we got to go back to speaking truth to ourselves.
That's right.
And I speak affirmations. As a matter of fact, in my book, I did a book in 2015 called 30 Days of Affirmations and Inspiration.
Okay.
From the Heart of a Survivor. And I carry these cards around that I give out, that I pass out when I meet women.
Yeah.
Like I just hand them one of my cards, and it has one of my affirmations. It says, today, I will show up in this day with all of my faith, my courage, my strength, and my confidence. And I will not apologize for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Those are
Love it.
the type of affirmations that I speak to
right.
myself, and I'm not going to apologize for
I know
it.
that's right.
And that is,
I love it.
And that is so true because,
Yeah.
you know, even in the Word of God, it talks about the renewing of your mind. That,
Yes.
you may have grown up in a certain way, but it doesn't mean that that's the right way. You know,
Yes.
sometimes people grow up in a household where mama said this and daddy said this and this the gospel. No, it's not the gospel. And God says that you have to renew your
Yep.
mind, change your mindset.
Yep.
And it's a daily thing.
It's a daily
And I
thing.
totally agree with you. People always ask me, and I say, you know what? Every day I fight for my sanity.
Yes.
Because I have been so traumatized
Yes.
in my life.
Yes.
And I have to take that seriously. I have
Yes.
to know that I take it day by day.
Yes.
And I'm like you. Every day I have to list, like in my kit, I have to have my spirituals. I have to have my Bible. I have my favorite Bible verses that I read, and also my affirmations, because you're right. You have to constantly tell yourself who you are and whose you
And
are.
whose you are. Yep.
And know that you are in control. Like, I control my destiny.
Yep.
I control my day.
Yep.
I'm happy because I choose to be happy.
Yep.
And
It's
it
a
ain't got
choice.
nothing to do with nobody else.
And it's
Yep.
clearly a choice.
Yes.
Clearly a choice.
Clearly a
Yes.
choice.
And I don't care what happens. What happens in that day, I'm still going to choose to be happy.
And sometimes that day may not turn out the way you want it to.
Absolutely.
It may not. I mean, things gonna
Life,
happen.
right? Oh, my
Life
goodness.
shows
Life is
up,
gonna
but how
show
do
up.
you deal with it? So when life shows up, you know what? I'm like, okay, so this is happening. How much control do I have over this situation? Okay,
It's
Sheila,
all in your
you
response.
ain't got no control over this. This is beyond you.
That's right.
So what you gonna do about it? You gonna sit in it, or you gonna get up out of it?
What you gonna do?
And I'm a praise and worshiper. I love
Me too.
music.
Me too.
Listen,
I love
some
it.
music
Yes.
get down
That's
to
right.
it. And I'm gonna tell a secret that I've never shared with anybody.
Okay.
All right now. Okay, so I grew up in DC. Grew up on Chuck. Yes, I'm a Christian woman, but God ain't said nothing was wrong with dancing and singing. Honey, let me tell you how I celebrate on Fridays. I put my old Chuck Brown CD in. It is 6:30 in the morning because I have to be to work at 7. I am driving down the Beltway, headed to Bethesda. I got old Chuck on.
I know.
And I'm rocking out. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Before I left home, I prayed, I danced, I sing, I said my affirmations. I'm in the car. And I'm rocking out. Because what I'm doing is I'm setting myself up for the best day possible. Because I know that somewhere along that day, the devil is going to be throwing some little fiery dots at me.
Yes, he is.
And so if you get your armor on, I get my armor on.
Because when
What
you got
now?
to go out there in the world, you see, the world is not your friend.
Not your friend at all.
So you get out there in the world. That's why we have to remember as Christians, and that's the struggle that we go through every day, and that's why a lot of people call us hypocrites. Because the struggle is that we do have to be in the world.
Yes. Yes, but we don't have to
We
be
don't have to be
Of the world.
Yes.
So that's the struggle.
Yes.
Right? Because we have to prepare ourselves and literally come out the house with the armor on.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I mean that's against for everybody. It could even be for family.
Yep.
Like I have to
Yes.
put the armor around me. I have to
Yes.
when I pray for the continued peace of mind and the protection, the hedge of protection, that's what I mean. Like I have to keep
Yep.
myself covered
Yep.
and I have to continue to pray for my sanity.
Yep.
Because I know that at any minute, you know what, either I can break down and go into that straight depression, or I can let you drive me crazy,
Yep.
Yes.
and I can snap. So
Yep.
I have
Yes.
to pray for that peace of
Yes.
mind, and I have to pray for that continued hedge of protection around me.
Yep.
Because I know at any minute, I can go either way.
Yep. Anyway, either way, here it comes.
He's working on me. I'm trying my best. Okay. So yeah, I definitely totally understand that we have to keep that prayer in but you know, like you said, I'm a music person, so I can praise and worship in the car, and I can definitely turn just that quick, and I can turn and put on something a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can turn back and say, you know what, let me go back to TV.
Let me go back. Let me go back. Yes.
But yeah, so
Yes.
I totally.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm with you. You know, we DC girls, and we love us some go-go.
gotta
Yes.
go,
Even,
though.
then listen, even
Yes.
for my birthday, I had to go to the go-go. I went to go see familiar faces.
Yes. Now see here's the difference. The go-go now, I can't rock with it. It's too much for me now. So I'm like that old school go-go.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing
wrong
wrong
with God created us to enjoy life. Just because we listen to it don't mean we acting a
We're not
fool.
influenced
You
by
know,
it.
exactly.
Right.
And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. To celebrate your birthday, what you should have done. It is God has listen. All that you have gone through in your life,
Girl.
you deserve to
Hello.
celebrate
Exactly.
every year that you have
Absolutely.
survived.
Absolutely.
Every year we should be celebrating
Absolutely.
that we have survived. Because any minute now we know that something could have come along and taken us out.
And that is so true because, you know, with me growing up, I never was the type of person that my birthday really was never a big deal. If I did something, I did it because usually I had these men in my life, so they would bring gifts. So I would be content with that, right? But then when I lost my daughter that first year, I said, you know what? I'm celebrating every year because life is short. You don't know, and I celebrate myself now.
Yes.
I celebrate myself now. I remember one of my girlfriends when I was doing, she was like, "You're the first person I know. I ain't never met a person that planned their own parties and stuff." I said, "Well, I'm the only one that know what I want and how I want it, so I may as well do it. That's where I can get it the way I want it." And I said, "It ain't no hard feelings against nobody. Nobody ain't do this and that. I'm in control of this."
In control. And you know the other thing
I'm
too
in
is
control of this.
self-care. Self-care is the other thing in my toolbox. I take care of me.
Yes.
From
First.
eating right to exercising to taking every 6 months I'm at somebody's spa. Remember, this was my background though. I was an esthetician. Every 6 months I'm at a spa. Wherever my husband and I travel to, and we love to travel, wherever we go, I'm finding he knows that where's the spa. We were in Hawaii last year. He got to find a spa in Hawaii. Wherever we go, you got to find a spot because I need that for me. It's taking care of Sheila. It's my self-care. I need private times. There are sometimes I'm at home, I would just go in another room and shut the door. And I'm in there because I need time just for Sheila. I need to deal with me.
Yeah, and I need to get all these thoughts, yes, because it's all over the place. So I need that time. Even as you know, sometimes we talk about in empowerment. You know that sometimes it's okay to be selfish. There's a healthy selfish.
Yes.
And there's an unhealthy selfish.
Yes.
Right? And I remember even when the kids were little, like I would literally crack my door. I have twins. They're twins. They're 20 now. But sometimes, I go in my room, I crack the door, and mommy just needs 20 minutes. Okay? I need 20 minutes. I just came around the Beltway. I'm tired. Can you just do what you're supposed to do? I just need 20 minutes.
Yes.
I promise you. And they, of course, since they knew, they adapted to it.
Yeah.
But you need that 20, 15 minutes to just come back down.
Yep. You need a time out. You need a time out for yourself.
Right. Put me in time out.
Because a lot of us are so used to doing for everybody else. And even when I came to terms with the whole self-care thing, is that God had gave it to me in a revelation of that if you don't replenish yourself, how can you help anybody else? And it's the same thing of how, like, when you're on an airplane and they tell you, even if that's your child sitting beside you, if this oxygen mask falls down, you put it on self first, and then you can help everybody else. Because what does it matter if you put it on somebody else and then ain't got time to put yours on?
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? So that was big for me. I said, you know what? And I've had to do this, and I have come against, with my mom and and different family members of me taking care of me first, but now they understand it. At first it was like, oh, she just so selfish, she this, she's that, but now they understand. It took them a while
to get there,
but now they understand that I'm not letting nobody else ever control me.
It's a sign of abuse too.
It is.
It's a sign of abuse too. So you have to have those moments when you take care of yourself. People have said to me, like, one time someone says, you need to make yourself more noticeable on social media. You need to get out there more. You need to do this. And at the time, I think it was like last year, I had slowed down a bit. I wasn't doing anything. Well, first of all, I had just gotten married. So my first ministry is my home.
That's right.
I take care of home first, okay? So if home ain't right, ain't nothing else going to... See, my sanctuary has to be right first. So if that ain't right, I can't go out here and try to speak and help nobody else. How you going to go out there and try to stand up, try to tell somebody else how to take care of themselves? You a survivor, do this, but then you go home and you living in hell. How are you going to do that? How are you going to tell someone what to do when you're not taking care of your own self first? And so you have to take care of yourself. And so I said to that person, I said, I'm not anxious for anything, because I do believe, and I mean this when I say it, every opportunity is not a God opportunity. God is going, if God brought me to this, He's going to make a way. He's going to provide a platform for me. So I seriously have said no to some people because I didn't feel like there was a connection. I didn't feel like that was the right thing for me to do. And before I say yes to anything, I'm always going to God. Like, God, is this for me? Should I show up? What do you want me to say? And someone said, one time I was speaking, do you have your script? I was like, I don't have a script. I mean, it's my story. So I don't have a script. It's my story. My story is my authentic truth. I'm just showing up to tell my truth. And I'm asking God for guidance and what should I say? What does this body of women need from me today, Lord?
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that.
And on that note, we're definitely going to take a break. You are listening to Time for a Change with Sherry and McYoung, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we've gotten off. I want to hear about Healing to Grace.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that'll probably go to about another 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then after that.
for me. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me fine. Sweet red wine. I ain't had a drink this morning. I'm just as high as a Georgia pine. Just as high as a Georgia That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back to Time for a Change with Sharing
And McYon.
And we are here live in the studio with Sheila Malloy Hall with Healing to Grace. And we're going to talk about Healing to Grace in just a second. But I definitely want you guys to know that we are here in the studio live every first and second Monday of the month from 6:30 to 8 at voxwave.com. So make sure that you tune in 6:30 to 8. So, Miss Sheila, it has been such an honor. It has been, I love the conversation and just the genuineness in your conversation. But I do want to hear more about your Healing to Grace ministry. I know I think it's an organization.
Yes, it's a nonprofit organization that actually was birthed in my breakthrough.
Right.
So during my breakthrough, this is where Healing to Grace came from. As I said, first of all, I was not even on social media. I was not on social media. I didn't even know anything about Facebook. So God birthed this vision to me. I just got on my computer, just did the website, just followed what God gave me. And this is how Healing to Grace came. God says, I'm healing you, and my grace is upon you as I heal you. And that's where it came from. So it just manifests in my brokenness state. And so Healing to Grace is an organization that is dedicated to addressing the impact and the aftermath of abuse and domestic violence. And I focus on the aftermath. The impact is that it will affect you and everyone connected to you. The aftermath, if you don't get some help, trust me, it's going to show up. And so, but I also want to talk about that it's okay to get help. It's okay to tell your truth. It's okay to say that I need help, to say I need a therapist. It's okay. And so that's what my main purpose is to be that woman, the face of saying it's okay. Because I'm so tired of people asking why. Why did you stay? Why she stay? Why she this? Well, whys are different for everybody, and it's not relevant why a person stays.
Absolutely.
It's just not relevant. What's more important is what are you going to do to help this person?
Yes.
And I think soon as a person leaves their situation, there's so much help, right? Everybody's around. You got the spotlight trying to help you. But 60 to 90 days after that, in the midnight hour, who's going to be there with you?
Yes.
Because, see, when you leave your situation, the work has just begun. Just because you've got away from your abuser, honey child, the work has just begun. You've got to do some work now. And you cannot, it's almost like a scar. Let's just say if I burnt myself and I don't take care of it, I just put a bandage over it. What's going to happen under that? That thing going to get all kinds of infections. And that's what happens to us when we don't do self-work. And that is the whole purpose of Healing to Grace. Is to help people, to support people. I'm connected with so many therapists and counselors and other advocates that I can, when a person comes to me, then I can help guide you into where you need to go. I am that person you can come to and talk to and say, I need help. And through Healing to Grace, we've done some wonderful work. We just had our first conference this year. The series is Healing is Beautiful. Because I want people to know you're still beautiful. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not beautiful. But there's beauty, there's healing in your beauty. So this past September, we had our first conference, Healing is Beautiful, the discussion. And God gave me the vision. I ran with it. I was terrified because I did it all myself, but it was a blessing. God has already given me the vision for 2018. Healing is Beautiful, the awakening.
Okay.
September the 15th, 2018. The awakening is about to go down.
Right.
I mean, I've got some wonderful speakers already lined up. It's just going to be a day. Oh, my God. There's going to be lunch. There's going to be some beautiful, beautiful speakers who I don't want to name yet. But some wonderful speakers. We've got some songsters. I mean, it's going to be a catered lunch. It's just a beautiful all-day event from 9:30 to 4:30. And so I'm slowly putting out information about that event. But these are the things that God has called me to do. These conferences are not just about coming to hear speakers. They're coming to do some workshop, some self-healing is going to be in there. I'm going to have some people in there doing massages. I mean, it's going to be beautiful. And my whole goal with the concept of Healing is Beautiful is to get to that inner person that's there. Get to that internal brokenness so you can have success. Like for me, you know, I walked around looking like I had it all together, but I was broken on the inside. So I want to make sure that my internal matches my external. So I want to be whole, and I want to help other women. You want to know how did I do this? Well, give me a call. I'll tell you how I did it. You know, so that's what Healing to Grace is all about. And you know, I said that I wrote my first book, which was 30 Days of Affirmations and Inspirations, which you could go to my website and get, healingtograce.org. The book is there. And right now I'm having a special. You get 2 for 1. It's the holiday season. Give that book to somebody as a gift.
Yes.
And also, too, the book is just filled with great affirmations. Like I said, this affirmation I spoke today. So I want everybody to hear this real clear.
Listen.
Today, I will show up in this day with all of my faith, my courage, my strength, and my confidence. And I will not apologize for it. Do not apologize for shining your light. Because that's what the devil wants you to do, is to dim your light. When you shine your light, your breakthrough is right there when you shine your light. And people don't understand, just because they're not dealing with domestic violence, I guarantee that somebody that they know
Absolutely.
is dealing with it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just excited about the things that are coming. You know, I'm working on my second book. The second book is called Healing is Beautiful. I'm going to reveal the book at my conference. This book is about telling my story. I'm putting the story in a book now.
I am excited.
So I'm just excited about how God is using me. And another key thing is I go to other seminars and I support other women, but I also empower myself, because if you don't do self-work,
That's what it is.
you should not be helping anybody else.
That's what it
is,
That's
right?
it.
Right?
Because
That's
I
it.
do what I do because it encourages me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do what I do because
Yeah.
it helps. So that's selfish. But
Yes.
guess what? It helps me.
And you know what? I remember I had this guy. He told me. He said, "No, it's not selfish. It's self first.
It's
Yes.
That's
Self
what
first.
it is. It's
Self
self
Yes.
first.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Not selfish.
Yes.
So when and ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's listening, our listeners, this is what we mean when we say when passion meets purpose.
Yes.
Okay? So when everything that you've been through and everything that you've experienced comes full circle and now has delivered you, now you're passionate about it and it delivers you to your purpose. So that's when passion meets purpose. I totally love the passion that you have for healing and just overall not being afraid to share. Not being afraid to share and totally overcoming. I know for me personally, I know I'm still kind of new in this walk, and I even still fighting for a lot of things myself personally. So I still have aha moments.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I still have these aha moments, and as you're talking, sometimes I was sitting here like, okay, right, all right, it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That even though I still struggle with some things, it's a process.
It's a process, and
It's
the
a
process
process.
doesn't end.
And it
Yes.
doesn't.
That's what people do.
Yes.
People are so
All of
anxious to
that.
get here.
Yeah.
But when you sit still, sit where you are for a moment. Be quiet and stay where you are for a moment. Because wherever God has you, that's where God. See, God is, you're either going to get a lesson or a blessing.
Yep.
And so stay
Hello?
still in that moment. That's why I'm not anxious. That's why I don't rush through it, because I'm like, okay, God's got me here for a reason. What is it that God wants me to learn
That's
in
right.
this? What
That's
is
right,
God
right.
teaching me? What is God developing? There's so much learned in the silence. God is working on us. He is going to forever be healing us.
Yes.
Because we grow in different seasons. We move in different seasons. God is going to do fantastic things for us. But God is not going to move us before we're ready. We
That's
move
right.
sometimes before God
Before
is
he's
ready.
ready.
And I'm not about to move before God moves me, because, see, I have jumped too fast.
And sometimes I need to get out of my own way.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
I've recognized that in the last year. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really staying in my own way.
Yes.
And I heard, it was just so funny. It's a really, really long story, but just real quick, because I got in the car and I had already had the gut talking to me for like 2 months. And God kept saying, you got to do something. You got to get out of this. You got to do something. And I kept saying, oh, no, it'll happen. It'll happen. I kept getting in my own way. And as soon as I got in the car one day, when I finally had broke free from it, it was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I sat in the car, and the pastor said, it was on Sunday morning, the pastor said, stop cheating on your future with your past.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
said, what?
Yes.
And it says stop, and he repeated, he said, stop cheating on your future
Yes.
with your past.
Yes. Yes. The
And I
past
was
is just what it
God,
is.
like, I just asked you, was this the right time? What am I? And it just that I came in on the very end of his sermon, and that was the last thing he said, and he went off the air. And I was like, wow, okay.
Isn't that wonderful
Yeah.
how God put that right there when
Right
you
there,
need it?
the very
Yes.
last words
Right
he
when you
said,
need it.
Right
was
when you need it.
And I was just in the house and had like this whole, I know you revealed it to me 2 months ago. I know. You know what I mean? Like, he had to slap me up against my face. Like, no, I didn't just reveal it. I was trying to let you take the lead and say, okay, God, I got you. And I didn't listen. You know? So, but when that happened the other day, I was like, wow. Yeah. He not leaving your side.
Oh, no.
He look out for babies and fools.
Oh, yes, he does. He said,
And God is not a
never
forceful
leave,
God.
never leave or forsake you.
He's not a forceful God.
Goodness
He's going
gracious.
to tell us he's right there. But if we decide to go outside of the will that God has for our lives, then that's up to us, though. But there is so much breakthrough in silence. Like, you know, for advocates and speakers, everybody want to be out there doing something. But where is that time that you're sitting still for a moment so you can re-energize, so you can really
And you
hear
have
it?
to.
Why do you keep going? So if you keep going driving a car so fast, eventually if you don't stop at a red light, if you don't stop when God puts those borders up, if you don't stop to adhere to God's message, eventually you're going to run into a wall. You're going to run into something. So when something comes up against me, like let's say I'm trying to do something and it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. When I was trying to do my conference for this year, I had 10 other people involved. Do you know that thing fell apart? I mean, people were coming at me like, you ain't doing this right. You don't know what you're doing. I let it go. But God would not. He was not done with me yet. He said, first of all, I did not tell you to ask everybody else. I gave the vision to you.
There you go.
So I shared this with a good friend of mine. It was a circle of women. See, and then you got to be careful about the people that you situate yourself with. I was with a circle of women, and they said to me, so Sheila, what you been doing lately? And I told them about the conference, and it fell through. They said, we'll tell you why. We're going to hold you accountable. You need to plan your conference. And I was like, okay. I walked away from that dinner with those sisters. I went to prayer. I went to fasting. God said, here's the vision. Now go do it. And I was like, but God, who's going to help me, though? When I took one step, you should have seen the resources that came. As soon as I finished with the conference this year, and I saw how many women were blessed by the conference, soon as that conference was done, God gave me the vision for 2018. And I'm like, God, I was like, oh my God, my vision is so big, so big. But God was like, but you serve a big God. I was like, all right now. So I'm going to hold on to this big vision that I have for 2018. And I'm going to run with it. And I'm going to do it like I've never done it before. I'm going to show up in all my glory, all my beauty. And I'm going to save somebody is going to be saved in 2018.
The Chief Operations
Yes.
Officer.
Let me tell you, 2018 is going to be the year. God is doing some awesome things in 2018. There's going to be some big things because it's definitely time for healing. It's time for real, true deliverance. I'm telling you. Too many times, you know, we sit back and we go to church every Sunday and we show up, but people are not really being healed. People are not being delivered from this pain. And God say, no longer.
No longer.
No longer. So he has his front line soldiers.
Yes.
In the war.
No more wounded warriors. God said, come, let's go. Let's get line up people and get healed. No more wounded warriors.
That's right. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. I know this time goes by really fast. And but thank you for tuning in to Time for a Change every first and second Monday of the month. Between 6:30 and 8. We're here at Star Imports at 4711 Off Place in Suitland, Maryland. So like I said, if you're ready to purchase that ride, come on down here and let them know that Time for a Change sent you. Make sure that if you want to get in touch with Miss Malloy, Miss Malloy Hall, you can get in touch with her at www.healing2grace.org. That's healing2grace.org. It has been a pleasure. I hope that we will definitely be seeing you more in the future, work on some things together, and possibly come back into the studio. It has definitely been awesome. So you guys, anything else we need to?
That is it. Sponsorship.
Oh, and advertising. If you're interested in advertising or sponsoring Time for a Change, make sure that you hit us up at time4changeradio@gmail.com. That's time4changeradio@gmail.com. You can always reach us at our Facebook pages, Sherry Cook and McYon Brown Anderson. I always want to put the Anderson first.
I know.
But so you can always reach us. And I think that's it. Or you can reach out to Vox Wave if you want to get in touch with us.
Absolutely.
VoxWave.com.
And we just want to say that we will be back in January 2018. So we want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you in 2018. Good night.
Good night.
No way.
What up?
No friend ever be like. I tell you, leave him at it surely was the best thing I ever did that night.
up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win. The enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Yes, you will. Point to your neighbor and tell them everything attached to you. your winning season. It's your winning season. If God got to carry you, if God got to carry you, that's what He's going to do tonight. Because you can't afford to lose again. You can't afford to lose again. Oh, it's your winning season. Last time, say, everything attached to me will. Everything attached to me. This is what I need you to do. Because I realize that you can't say you are a winner but look defeated. I need you to get up out of your seat and high five 10 people across this room. Don't just stay at your row, tell them across the room that you will win. Come on, high five 10 people and tell them you will win. You will win. God don't birth failures. God don't call you defeated. You are a winner. Maybe you didn't know it before, but now you know it tonight. Now you know it tonight. You are a winner. You are a winner. Unleash that champion. Unleash that champion out of you. Come on, let's just tell him you will win. Come on, all the winners, clap your hands in the air. Come. Clap your hands in the air. Come. Now y'all gotta be my background. Everybody say tonight, it's my winning season. It's my winning season. It's your winning season. It's your winning season. It's my winning season.
The enemy's plan is to try to get you down and out. He won't rest or tire, 'cause he knows what you're about your God's business to kingdom maturity. No matter what he tries, we win, in every area of our life. We win. Overcomers born of Christ. We win. Nothing can stop us now. Nothing can stop us now. I'm claiming the victory before I even face the fight. Not moved by what I see. I walk by faith and not by sight. All power and authority is given unto me. 'Cause when you're on God's side, we win. Overcomers.
Check one. Come in, welcome talking. Come in, welcome talking. Hello, check one, check two. Can you hear me? Hello, check one, check two. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Live from Star Imports. In the End We Win show with Curtis Austin. Coming back to you for the 2018. Check one, check two, check one, check two. Check one, check two.
Sing a song.
Oh, goodness. Right.
Check one, check two. Sing a song. Come on.
Come
on, Ron.
You a blues man?
Oh, no. Oh yeah.